Hello, hello, hello. Now, let's listen to this thing and then I'll talk. As you can see, something is different from the last tutorial. What has changed? You may ask. Well, I just lost the file. I just lost the project file that I was creating for the tutorial, and I had to recreate everything. So I'm just going to go through all the sounds that I used here. It's just a basic VC5 Trance Kick 9 with saturation made by the Sausage Fattener plugin there. And I use Sausage Fattener here as well. Here as well is also a delayed kick started thingy. It's BA Big Sound from the original Factory Sounds, and this is also from Factory Sounds, so that's just going to do it. And also, I use Sausage Fattener here. Now, you don't really have to use it. Yeah, you can use the fastest just to saturate it a little bit and then make the sound a little bit thicker. It also works, but I just use it because it's really hella quick. That's just the reason, so... yeah, that's just it. And we're just going to go through this a little bit more advanced, which is going to be creating the hat, creating the lead, creating the pad, those kind of things on this time. And I'm not going to really erase it a lot of times, just like I did way before, because I was talking on YouTube. And mind you, about YouTube, I am still thinking about it every day. I just don't have the motivation and don't have the idea to do it, but maybe I can create some sounds that sounds really good. So, we'll try it today. So, hat and percussion. Pick a closed hi-hat. You can pick any closed hi-hats, just don't make it really fucking weird. If it isn't, then it's fine. You just have to do this. No, not do this. Do this. You can do a side chaining of this as well. I just do it this way because this is the way that I always did it back then, but you don't really have to do it this way. So, actually I am going to copy that and then put it here. Sorry for the mistake. I wasn't really producing a lot of trance, that's my excuse, but it really isn't an excuse, it's just myself being dumb, but... Alright, it kinda sounds nice at the moment, which I do like. But the bass is too thick. And that's when you choose both of the lines, which is because I used the mid bass and the low bass like last time. But if you just use the mid bass and then transformed it into a fantastic low bass, then you can just do that and have fun with yourself. And oh, by the way, the low bass is the bass 3. I should have explained this way easier, but all of these Spire presets that we're going to use here is going to be a default one. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to create lead because of that reason, but let's see what happens. I hope I don't mess up, but if I do mess up, then I am going to use one of the presets that I have, which is from Nato's Spire Essentials. It has amazing sounds, but I'm going to talk about it later when I actually create the lead. At the moment, I'm just creating the hat loop, so let's just go and do that. Well, that pack doesn't really have that epic sound that I want. Yep, this is the generic Trance open at. This really works on every trance open. This really works on every trance, and even techno even. It's a really good one. We're going to use Kickstart because it is generic and easy to use. And now the thing here, I opened up this thing and then listened to this and then picked this. Now that's because of how sometimes when you pick an hi-hat and an open-hat, sometimes these sounds are similar to each other and then they just boost the sound because they are in similar sounds, and it just becomes a real mess when you try to mix it, and it's just all so fucked up. But we don't want that, you know. We don't really want a massive, a really strong one. We really want something like slight and easy to mix and everything. So slightly similar, but not as similar to the level where it will boost itself. It's the level that I wanted to find, and that's what I found here. It has that little bit of sizzling effect, and it also has that sizzling, but it's not in the same tone, I should say, maybe, or the same color. I don't know what to say, but it's something like that. So if you do understand, then it is fine. But if you don't, then it's something like a tone of the hat when it's stretched. So if you stretch the... actually, I'm just going to show you. If you just stretch the hi-hat, actually, like this, maybe... Oh my god, that's a scary sound. Then it sounds like that. And it sounds like that. This is more metallic, and this is more to the clearer sound, is what I mean. But maybe I could have explained it a little bit better. But I don't know what to say, man. But as you've seen before, when I stretched the time way further because of a mistake that I did. But it is a mistake that I did, but it's really a clear explanation of... It's really a really good bridge to what I want to explain here, which is killing off the EQ on this thing. Well, not killing, it's just setting the EQ. So, let's see. There's a slight line here, slight lines here, and those are the unnecessary sounds on the hat. Now, these really look like small sounds, and it doesn't really sound that loud on your headset or whatever, or earphone even, or speaker, but you really want to kill off those sounds because you want maximum power to everything on trance. You want the power, you want the euphoricness, you want the emotions coming out of it. So if you want that, then kill off those, and then just do it like high pass. Let's do that. Actually, I should go and try and see if I can actually find the one thingy again, because it's kind of missing at the moment. Where the fuck is it? Okay, here it is. Because I don't really want it to be that high. Reset, 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 and reset. I don't really want to touch anything as well. So let's do that. Now that's a clean hat, but just to make sure, and just to put a little bit more headroom, we're going to cut off these. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, but sometimes your ears really get tired easily, and that's because of the artist that doesn't really kill off the high and just blast this to your ear, which is honestly good if you're just trying to make a really blasty and effective song that will hit the users really well, like in hardcore, making hardcore, or making like a dubstep or something. It sometimes work, but I really recommend it on trance Maybe because you want to listen to a lot of trance, maybe if you're a trance listener, and these kind of tracks that doesn't really has high thingies and it's distorted maybe because of YouTube compression and everything. Sounds really terrible, so you don't really want to do that, but this is the sound that we have at the moment, and we're going to do the same thing to the fifth one. So let me just change this into a normal size. There we go. That's the normal primary cue that we always love and adore. We're going to do it on here as well. Now, again, I lowered the kicks volume. It's just personal preferences. You can do whatever you want to, but I just lowered it because it's my personal preference. Now, there's the normal percussions that you normally use on a really short and strong trance track, but you will want one more, a very important part of a trance percussion, and I just cloned the pattern just for it, and it is called a clap. Now, claps are really hard to find for trance, and I understand the problem, so I'm just going to give you the pack name of these. You probably know them, but if you don't know them, then you can just search Vengeance Essential Club Sounds Volume 5 and then go to the main site and download everything. It's pay for, but it's essential, as they say. It's really essential, and it has a lot of great sounds, so I hope you do so. Having a little bit of problem, as always. There's not that exact trance clap that I want at the moment. Maybe I can modify this, I don't know, but normally in trance clap you want to use the slightly distorted, not the distorted to the point where it sizzles, but to the point where it's loud enough and long enough. That's what you want to find, and this kind of sounds similar, but it isn't really the catch, so I'm just gonna try and modify it easily. Oh my god, what is this disaster? That was a disaster. Okay, let's just wait a little bit. That's amazing. This clap only goes for a bar, which is what I exactly wanted, but I'm going to modify the EQ, of course. As I don't really want the clap to eat the head that much. Of course it's going to happen, but I don't really want it to eat it that much. So I just put a little bit of EQ on it, and that's just what I did. That's all. And let's listen to the track again. Now this is a really basic trance hat and clap pattern. It's really basic because of the reason that it's really old. And it is still used, but the people really variance it and really change it a lot, and then they just make their own shit, and they just sound amazing. So this is really not that used now, but you can just put it in here. Do like this. Mind you, the clap is still used the same way, by the way, if you're wondering, but just the head pattern is the changed one always. But because you don't really want to make users just listen to the same loop all the time, you're going to variance it maybe, but I'm not going to go through variance this time. I'm just going to go through the quick ways, and it's all about ease, so we're going to use loops. A little bit of saturation is what I want. So for that, we're going to go and use the fastest. I should have saturation as a preset, but I don't because my data was all gone again. So this sounds like this. We don't really want that. Let's build a little small transition just by a reversed crash. And a little crash here would be nice. We're going to go through transitions later. It's just a little bit of thingy just to see how it sounds basically compared to the other trance tracks. And of course we're going to have some delay on it. Now let's see how much time we have now, and we just recorded for 20 minutes, so we can go on more about what we're going to try and make. So we're going to build the lead now, and to build the lead we're going to make a pad first. And this is what I forgot to do on this tutorial first, but it's okay because we're going to do it again. So here we go. Pad sounds. This is the perfect shit for this, actually. So this works totally. Pad. Now remember that is E chord. You don't really have to build it on E chord. You can change it to E chord just by dragging everything and then bringing it down all the time. But let's just try and build it in E chord. And if I don't have any ideas in E chord, then I will think in different chords as well. And the idea for these pad sounds maybe is a thing for you that you're really confused about and want to learn about. Well, the best idea, of course, is to listen to a lot of trance tracks, a lot of uplifting tracks, and variants of trance. As trance is really variant, you can't really say what is trance just by listening to it if you don't really have that much experience on it. Some sounds like house, some sounds like techno, some sounds like even trance sometimes, some even sounds like hardstyle. So you can't really tell, but you have to get to the point where you can produce sounds that really sounds professional. I am not at the level yet. I am still at the level of learning, and it really takes a long time. It really takes a lot of effort. So it's better off with you trying to learn those actually. So let's try to make a pass sound anyway. I'm confused on what sound I want to make. Now, the important thing. You can see that the melody is going up gradually and then going down gradually again on here. Now, the reason why I made it go down, I could just make it go all the way up again, but there will be a time where you maybe have to connect from here to here, and for that only, you bring it down a little bit or just make it connect. This time I just brought it down, but it connects well from what I can listen to. So this is going to be it for this pad sound. And we're going to pick a little bit of a brighter one. Jupiter maybe. No, this sounds way older than it actually should. It's really cosmic, this pad. I do like this combination a lot. I think I'm going to use it in a future song as well, but hidden maybe. But this combination really sounds nice from what I actually expected from Spire presets, which is really good. It's just not really to the point where it's same to the sold ones, but of course that's gonna be not the same. But I mean, this really works well, I'm not gonna lie. So we're just gonna put it here. Now, you can feel that the low pad is confusing itself with the high pad, and for that, we're going to remove the low pad side on a second thingy for this. Now, the best line here. I'm really confused on how I'm going to do it. Am I going to keep it at this? No, probably not. I'm going to switch it, but I'm not really sure what chord to use, what key line to use, and for that, I think it's a good time to cut it up here. I'm really sorry for the presets going everything and for I'm not uploading for so long, and also the project file dying, but this time I'm just going to show you that I am going to save this in Trance and for tutorial. And here we're going to save it uplift 1. Now uplift 1 is saved, and I have shown you that it is saved, so that's just what I did. And here we go. Uplifting Trance tutorial, just the first side, and we already have a little bit of a continuation from just experimenting. That's just what I did. And we're going to add a little bit more just for the taste of it. It is kind of used sometimes, but I don't know. If you want to do it, then to do it. If you don't, then don't do it. But high pass, just the high pass, everything killed off, and this just adds a little bit of this taste. If you don't like it, then don't do it. But I like it, so I'm just going to add it. Here we go, and this is the basic progression of what we're going to do. It's not really going to be this exactly same, so wait for the next tutorial, which is going to be sooner than you may think. It's going to be way sooner, but this is what it is at the moment. This is the thingy that I made, and I don't know. If you want to ask questions, then ask them down below, everything, and all that. If you have any requests also, then ask them down below, but yeah, that's about it. The next video, the next tutorial is going to be about bassline deformation, or not deformation, but just changing it a little bit just so that it follows the pad melody, which is very important because lead is going to be made off of the pad melody, and we're going to have a bassline that just follows the lead just by doing the pad following bassline. So that's going to be really epic because trance is very important on the bass line of how it goes and how it flows. So if it is mismatched from the melody of the thingy up there, which is the lead, then it just sucks balls. But if it doesn't, then it goes well. That's just it. So yeah, this is it for today. I hope something was actually progressed, maybe, I don't know. My project file was again gone, so I had to recreate that on the tutorial. I actually removed a video as well this time. I removed a 20-minute video of me recreating the project, and it was originally going to be in the video, but I messed up with the volume on it, so it's really loud, and I removed the video as well as soon as I finished recording it. So this is my 15 minutes recording, and then before that I had a short 20-minute stream just to warm up my throat. But I mean, I talked non-stop almost, except the part when I have to choose the sound and modify it, but whatever. So my throat is kind of aching, so I'm going to go and rest a little bit. If you have any questions, then leave them in the comments and I will reply to them as soon as I can. Sometimes I might be sleeping, you know, so yeah. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time when I try to make arps, melody, and bassline that follows the pad. And that's just going to take a long time, honestly, because of how complex the pad is, but it's gonna be great practice if you're following. And well, like, subscribe, all that shit. We'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. And, that's it. I don't know what to say, but yeah, see ya.